Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to make some Minnie Mouse ears together. This is my first ever video. My name's Michelle and this is Magic Kingdom Keeper. So I'll tell you a little bit about the name and about myself. I obviously very much love Disney, if you couldn't tell already, but I'm also a zookeeper. So I wanted a channel that would bring together my two passions in life. I love planning Disney vacations. I love going to Disney, and of course I also am very passionate about my job. So today we're going to talk about making some Minnie Mouse ears, and the cool thing about these ears is that you can choose whatever fabric, whatever style you want, and you can make them your own, and you also don't have to spend near as much money as if you were to buy ears at Disney for $24, $29.99, or on Etsy, which can get pretty expensive as well, and it's going to show your personality. So these are no-sew ears. You just have to use a hot glue gun to attach them together, and they are very sturdy the way I make them. They're not gonna like fall off while you're riding a ride. Of course, I guess you don't know, but we are gonna be using cardboard, so they're not super duper water resistant, but I've never had a problem in the parks, and I've gone in August where there is a lot of rain. So we are gonna show you what you need for the project, and then you can go on to making your project after you buy all the materials. So see you in a sec. All right, so we are going to talk about what you're going to need for your project so that you can get that all prepared so you can have it all at once. It's a lot nicer if you don't have to do this in steps. Plus it's an exciting, fun project that you want to get finished. So first of all, as I mentioned earlier, you are going to need some cardboard. I usually take this from boxes that I've gotten packages in. Of course, you can buy cardboard. You can also use poster board. There's all sorts of materials that you can use. So for the cardboard, you are going to need a box cutter. If it's really thin cardboard or another material, you can probably use scissors, but I like to use the box cutter. You will need a pencil, some sort of marker. You will need some scissors. I like to use actual fabric scissors to cut the fabric because it cuts a lot better, but is entirely up to you. Of course, you will also need your headband and fabric. So I have my fabric and then also my bow fabric. So this is going to be for the ears. This is going to be for the bow. And then a coffee mug. I'll tell you what that's for in a second. And some trim so that you can hide your mistakes or just make it look a little bit more finished, which I definitely need because the way I make my ears, they look a lot cuter with some sort of trim. And then you are going to need a hot glue gun, of course, and the accompanying hot glue sticks to put this together. And essentially that is all you need. There are little baubles you can add if you want. I have a little bee right there for my Pooh Bear ears, so you can add any sort of charm if you want, but we're just going to be doing normal ears today, and then you can add stuff afterwards if you would like. So now I'm going to show you how to start making our ears. See you in a second. Alrighty, for the first part of this project, you're going to need to take your cardboard and your mug. So you are going to want to choose a mug that corresponds with the size of ears you want. I like bigger ears. This is not the biggest ear size that I've made. I have some other mugs that I use, but this is a You Are Here mug, I believe, from Starbucks, and you can use this or you can use any other mug you might have at home. What you are gonna do is you are gonna take your mug and a pencil, and you are going to draw around this mug. So you are gonna make a very nice circle that, I don't know about you, I would not be able to make on my own, but it looks very nice. And then you're gonna take whatever headband you are wearing, and you are going to decide where you want them on your ears. So it is really good to put the ears pretty high up. I usually put them a little bit lower and then regret it. So you only need maybe 2 inches or maybe less for the bow. So you can take this on your circle and then you can draw your line. I'm gonna do it down on the table so that it looks a little bit better. And do a better job than I did, because I did not make that look very pretty. So now you have your cardboard. So this is eventually going to be the size of your ears. And then this part is not going to be part of that. But something that I like to do, it takes a little bit less time, especially if you're gonna make more than 1 ear, because you actually do have to make 4 of these little pieces for each ear. So if you're gonna make multiple ears, it's really good to make a template. So for the template, you take your circle that you drew, and then on the bottom part, you're gonna draw a line, and then around the whole circle, you are going to draw around it about 1 inch, and then this is going to be for the extras of your fabric because you are going to need that for the hot gluing. Also, this is Dracula. If you like cats, you'll probably see them on my video because Dracula likes to be wherever I am, but he does like to come around, especially if it seems like I'm talking to myself. So anyways, what you are going to do now is you are going to cut out this middle piece right here, and then you are gonna cut around the lines that you drew around it. So what you are going to have, which I will show you, is a template like this. So now you can use this template to draw out your 3 other pieces of cardboard for the thing. Like this, see? Yes, this is gonna happen. So if you have cats that like to chew on cardboard, beware. So you're gonna do this so you can cut out pieces, so you can have all of your pieces for your ears. And that is what you need to do for the cardboard. So once you have that all cut out, we will get out our fabric, and then I will tell you how to do everything with the fabric. And probably move my cat because he is not making this very easy. All right, so once you have the cardboard cut out, you are going to use your template, and you are going to figure out where or what you want in your fabric. So what I do, and these are already pre-drawn, but I take my template, you can see through it like a beautiful little window, and then you trace around it with your marker that I told you to get earlier. And then you will need to have 4 pieces, of course. And something that is really important if you're using a fabric where something needs to be upright, but you have to make sure that you cut 2 pieces with the flat side on one side and then 2 pieces with the flat side on the other side, because otherwise you might have upside down, topsy-turvy pieces that don't look or aren't in the direction that you want them to be, so it's not gonna look how you want it. So that is really, really important. So I will meet you guys back here when we have cut out all of these pieces, and we will start assembling. All right, everyone. So now that these are nicely flat and ironed, we are gonna take our cardboard, that's what this is, our cardboard earpieces, and then we are also going to grab our fill. All right, so now that my hot glue gun is on, we are going to take some of our fill or fluff, and we are going to ball it up. The amount of fluff you want is entirely up to you. Here is my cat again. As I said, he heard me talking to myself, so he decided to come say hi. You all might meet my other cat, Sigrun, as well, but she is not as needy as this ginormous monster cat is. So we are just going to take you, put you in my lap, and then, so what we're gonna do, so now that we have all of our fluff balls, we are going to deposit the cat, because I can't do this with him in my lap. Okay, and we are going to hot glue the whole piece and So hot glue, you can use a lot. And then we are going to put the fluff on your cardboard. And we're gonna focus on the cardboard camera. Okay, so we are going to do that for all 4 ears. Now that you're gonna have all of these on, what I like to do is try to take the fluff away from the edges, because when you're hot gluing, you are not going to want that fluff. Also, you can always add some more hot glue if you don't think that you glued this down enough, but you are gonna be putting fabric around it, so it's not gonna be that big of a deal. Okay, we have our fluff on our cardboard, and then you are going to take your fabric, make sure it's pretty centered, and then you are going to have this. So what we are gonna do is we are gonna be hot gluing around the edge and then pulling this down so that it covers all of your ears. And something that you kind of need to do is you need to pull it a little bit, not too much. And you are gonna have folds on this side, but that is not gonna show. So that is fine. So you're gonna have folds on this side because you want it to be smooth on this side. So I will show you what we are doing with this. So you are gonna push down and you were gonna, as I said, kind of just push around, and then you were gonna hot glue on the sides. And I'm doing this very fast. You should probably take your time on it because, as you can see, I have some areas that aren't so pretty right there, but what I do is I kind of pull and push and pull and push, and you can make it considerably better. But that trim that I told you all about earlier, that is what helps cover this up. So it's okay if it's not perfect. So make sure also that you are hot gluing this edge really well. So you want to hot glue all the way to the edge, pull as tight as you can, because that is going to get in the way later if you don't do that, which I will show you. I'm not going to make you watch all of these. I will do most of these separately, but I'm going to show you what you have to do next. So we are going to be hot gluing this up this way, and you want to make sure that it's not weird and folded and weird looking here. It can have some extra space because that kind of helps when you squish it down on the ears. This is what it's gonna look like, so that's pretty good. I'm gonna be covering, as I said, this up with the trim. So it is definitely going to look super cute when I'm done. I have a very cute Rapunzel right here, and then I'm gonna finish with the rest of my princesses, and then I will be right back. Alrighty, now the next step, now that you have these beautiful pieces with the fabric on, that's the word, fabric. What I like to do to help this a little bit is I like to cut off all of the extra pieces. Sometimes when you cut, you might accidentally cut too high, and that could make a little lip in your, or, you know, a little imperfection in your ear. But if you cut most of the way up, that helps take out some of the bulk because you are going to be hot gluing these pieces together. So you want to make sure there's not the bulk. Alrighty, now that you have all of those extra pieces as much as you can cut off, we are going to be gluing these two pieces together. It's going to end up looking like this when you are done. So some of the tricks are, when you first glue it on, you want to get some on the edge, but not too much because you might accidentally burn yourself. As I've talked about before, not fun. And you also want to put a lot in the middle because this part needs a little bit more glue. And then we put these together, and you want to make them as equal as possible on each side. And then I just like to squish it down with my hands for a hot second. And then I come back and I have to do the edges later because then I just push down this way. Some glue is going to come out. I kind of just smooth it so that it's not affecting the beauty of the ears too much. And I do that on the other side as well. So you're just sandwiching, and then we are gonna, as I said, make this look better with the trim. We have this, and I'm just gonna let that dry for a second. We will come back with the headband that we want. I like to match the headband to something on here, and I have a bunch of different headband colors that came from Amazon, and it's pretty easy to find some very inexpensive headbands, which is very nice. Alrighty, you can see here that I chose a headband that matches pretty well with my ears. So what we're gonna do is attach the ears. I think that this is a pretty good spot. You can kind of play with it before you know what you want to do. You can get your pencil ready, have this where you want it, and then make a mark. That does not look very good. Make a mark straight across so that you can have it be exact. As I said, not usually something that I'm too worried about, but for these purposes, I will do it that way so it makes it a little bit nicer. And then you have a mark for where your ears end. What we're gonna do is we are going to put a lot of hot glue within this, and then you are going to stick this where you marked. So you want the part you marked to be the end. We are gonna push down. Again, I kind of like to spread this around so it's not in a place that's super noticeable. And you can always add more if you didn't add enough, but like once you were done, it's pretty sturdy. I mean, I'm moving the headband, but the ear's not moving. Sometimes I do things in a very counterintuitive way, and that's okay. I will let this dry, and then we are going to come back with the material for the bow. The bow is very easy. It's just going to take a second. So if you want to grab that material, I'll tell you how much you need, and then we'll make the bows. All right, so there's not an exact science to how big you need to make your bow. It is what you want for preference. So I usually like to make it 12 inches in length and then about 10 inches in height. And this makes a pretty good sized bow, but you can always make bigger bows, little bows. What I like to do is I like to cut it a little bit too big, see what it looks like once I've folded it, and then change it if I need to. So this process, as I said, is super easy. So what you are going to do is you're gonna fold hot dog style first, and you are just going to meet these folds kind of in the middle. And then you are going to fold hamburger style, and this fabric doesn't want to cooperate, and that's okay. So you're gonna fold hamburger style, and then you are gonna overlap that a little bit because it's going to make it way easier when you are finishing your bow. So you have something that looks like this, and then you are going to accordion fold, is what I like to call it. That's probably a very technical term that I'm using. I'm definitely a professional. So we are going to fold this. I would recommend not using fabric that is this weird because when you're beginning, because as you can see, I'm having a little bit of trouble folding it, and I don't usually. So again, totally professional. This is gonna look great. It'll be fine. So you have a beautiful bow. And what you can do, there's two things you can do. You can take the same fabric, you can cut a piece, or you can glue it like this. It's a little bit harder to glue it like this. You'd have to glue it on both sides, make sure it stayed. So using a piece of fabric is great, or you can also use a different piece of fabric, or you can use this trim, which we are going to use soon, which I'm gonna do because I think this pink trim looks really good. So what you do once you have your bow the way you want it is I like to wrap this around a few times so I don't have to hold it while I'm hot gluing. This looks super professional and good. I promise it'll look good at the end. And then you are going to hot glue it. Your bow should look better than this right now. I'm gonna do this off camera with the hot gluing because you just hot glue the beginning and the end of this, hold it in a way that you won't hurt yourself, but also it can dry, and then you will have your beautiful bow. So I'm gonna do this off camera so I don't have to struggle on camera, but then we will put it together. We will put the trim on our ears, and then we will put the bow on, and it will look super beautiful. Hello everyone. I was told by people reviewing my video that it was a little bit hard to see how I was folding the bow. So I'm gonna show you a little bit closer up at a different angle. So hopefully with both angles, you will be able to see how the bow is folded. We are going to fold the fabric hot dog style. So long ways, and you're gonna fold it to the middle on both sides. So you're gonna see what that looks like right here. So you folded it about to the middle, and then you're gonna fold it hamburger style. So you're gonna fold it to the side, into the middle, and then to the other side, into the middle, but a little bit over the middle, so that you are not losing your corners when you are finishing your bow, because you want your bow to stay together and beautiful. So then the next thing that you do is you fold this in what I like to call an accordion style. So you're gonna fold it a little bit this way, so it's gonna look like that. You're gonna flip it over, because I find it easier to do that. Fold it the other way, and you're gonna fold it again as many times as you can. And then what you do once you're done folding is you grab the bow by the middle, and then you have these beautiful folds, and you can see your bow looking very nice. So this is a really flexible fabric. I say that you should probably use that if you haven't done a lot of bow making before, because I had trouble with the fabric that I actually used for this video, but hopefully that shows you how to fold the bow a little bit easier. All right, guys, so while this is drying, we are going to add the trim to our ears to cover up some of these spots that aren't so pretty. So this is very easy. All you do is you just add some hot glue and then put that trim we were talking about earlier on this and put it in the middle so that you are covering up some of your imperfections. So we are gonna go do this whole thing. Don't know if I said it in the beginning, but you do use a lot of hot glue guns, so sorry, hot glue gun sticks, not hot glue guns, unless you're buying really cheap ones that don't work very well. Hot glue gun sticks, and I would have those on hand and ready so that you don't have to continue to stop to find them. So just have your bag ready, and so we get to this side. I usually like to cut it with one extra pearl or a little bit of extra length if you are not using pearls, and that is just so you can stuff it in so it looks really nice. This is one of the ways that I help occupy myself when I can't be at Disney all of the time, and I really enjoy it. It gets me in the Disney mood without having to spend too much money. And I also like to watch things while I do this. So if you have Disney Plus, you can watch a whole bunch of fun Disney movies while you're doing it. Maybe you can get inspiration from the Disney movies, or just get nostalgic with the Disney movies and have a really good time, especially if it's a movie you've seen before, so you don't have to pay perfect attention, but you are fully capable, I'm sure, of singing along while you make your ears. So if it is a musical Disney movie, you can sing along. So another thing that you can do is you can add trim down here. So you can just put it around the ears on the front and the back, and that's a really, really nice detail that you can do. But what we are gonna do right now is put on our bow. So all you really need to do to put on your bow is put this in the middle. I like to put a good amount of hot glue. You can always remove the extra hot glue and the little strings afterwards, so don't worry about those too much while you are making your ears, but we put this little bow on, and it's gonna fall off because I'm not holding it. Make sure to hold it so it stays on. If you are using a trim, like this pearl trim, it is a little bit harder to hot glue, which is why I want to put as much hot glue as I do, because it is slippery, it has different dimensions, so it takes a little bit more hot glue. Sometimes I add hot glue to the back so that it can sit better. So if I was making ears for a specific princess, I would probably put a bauble. I also just realized that I put it on the side that I didn't want it on, so I'm gonna turn that around. And that is something that you might do if you're distracted, but if you're making ears by yourself and not making a video, you probably won't remember. So if I was doing bell ears, I actually have some little rose baubles that I could put in the middle. You could buy a shoe. Art stores have a lot of fun charms that you can put. You can also put them on the ears, so if I wanted to put a shoe over here and a rose over here to make it cute. I also have a Swarovski bedazzler that I like to bedazzle my ears with. I can show you all an example while this is drying, but on this pair I bedazzled some eyes on these whales, which I find pretty fun. And we are going to have this all finished. Let's see. All right, so I have pushed this down a bunch. I think it's gonna stay. Something I also like to do if you're not making reversible ears, which I can show you what that looks like in a second. If you're not making reversible ears, you can glue part of your bow onto the ear so that it stays a little bit better, especially with stiff ears like this is. That might be a good idea because they're a little heavier than other pairs of ears. But to show you an example of some reversible ears, I have some cute mini ears right here, and what I did is I used a material that's very bendable. I put it right in the middle, and so what you can do is have a different side and then switch the bow. So here's a Mickey side, here is a Minnie side, and I can wear it either way, which I find to be really fun, and that can be something that you can do while you're in the parks. You don't have to bring a whole nother pair of ears. Or a Dracula. He probably wouldn't do well in the parks. But anyways, this is a reversible pair of ears. This is not going to be reversible. I know better than that because I did not pick a bow that is conducive to being reversible. But once this is done, you can put it on and then wear it out. Well, probably just at Disney, but I think there's nothing wrong if you want some fun Disney, wear it on a walk, feel like you're in Disney. But you can put this on and you can see how cute it looks. And as I said, from far away, when it's on your head, you are not going to notice all of those imperfections that you might have if you make it the exact way that I do and very quickly. But this is how you make your no-sew Minnie Mouse ears. I hope you guys enjoyed following me along, and I hope you had fun. And again, I'm Michelle. This is Magic Kingdom Keepers for my first ever video, and I hope to see you guys soon.